What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to talk about some of the most important things that you don't want to do when you're detailing your car or washing your car. We all know it's super important to know your proper techniques to wash your car, but it's almost more important to know what you should not do so that you don't create any problems down the road or anything like that. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so number one on the list of detailing no-nos will be using dishwashing liquid to wash your car. Now, I've talked about this in past videos and people have commented saying, no, it's fine, it doesn't strip the wax. Well, I'm here to tell you it does, and it's known as an abrasive soap. That's why it's so good at cleaning off last night's dinner from your dishes the next day, right? It's also, it says right on the back here, International Bird Rescue uses Dawn Original. It's really good at, like, I guess if a bird gets in oil or whatever else, they can use this to safely, it won't harm the bird. It'll remove all the oil and grease and everything off of it. However, like I said, it's considered an abrasive soap, and that can cause premature oxidation on your paint, which is the last thing you want. It also can affect some of the trim, especially on like Teslas. They have that little aluminum or silver trim around the windows. That can definitely be stained from this stuff. The rubber on your vehicle can also oxidize sooner than it should. And also it will strip protection off the paint of your vehicle. Just like your dirty dishes, it strips everything off of them. This will do the same to your car's paint, so don't use it. Now, along with every don't, I'm gonna give you the do. So don't use this. Do use a nice pH balanced car soap. There's a million of them out there. I'll link a few down in the description that I really like. Mr. Pink from Chemical Guys is great. Adam's Megafoam, if you're using a foam cannon, fantastic. That's probably my favorite out of all the foaming ones. It foams a ton. But I'll link some down in the description for you guys. Also, Meguiar's Gold Class, great option, tons of lubrication, fantastic choice. Let's go to number two. Okay, now number two on the list of detailing don'ts is don't use improper wash techniques, right? Or even follow the wrong procedure. So for me, my procedure is I always start on wheels and tires because I'm trying to be the most efficient that I can. If I say I wash the whole vehicle and get it all good, and then I go to my wheels and tires after I drive the whole vehicle, I'm gonna get overspray from that onto the paint. I don't wanna do that. That's the wrong method, right? You wanna go consistent. I start off with wheels and tires, move on to washing the vehicle from the roof down. That way you're using gravity and everything is getting pulled off. You're not wasting water because the water you're using on the top streamlines down to the sides, rinses everything away, makes it more efficient. Number three, detailing don'ts. Do not, if you can, right, in most circumstances for people, do not wash your car in direct sunlight. Now, I will say as a professional detailer that operates mobily, we work in direct sunlight all the time. Well, I will say we use spot-free deionized water. Water is rated by parts per million. There's calcium deposits and all that kind of stuff in water that can transfer onto the vehicle if it dries on there, and you don't want that at all. It actually can etch into the paint a little bit if it's severe enough. So we use DI water. It brings us down to 0 parts per million. Just here at my shop, if I were to test the water that comes straight out of the wall, it's actually about 450 parts per million. No good. I like it at 0. 0 to 1, 1's still a little questionable. But yeah, taking it down to 0 parts per million makes it completely safe. If you're a DIYer at home and you don't have the option of having spot-free water, just get your car out of the direct sunlight, let the panels cool before you start washing it, and you'll be good to go. Number 4 on the list, detailing don'ts. Do not, I repeat, do not, and I'm guilty of this when I was a kid, I did this all the time. Do not use your big oversized beach towels or any sort of non-dedicated towel to dry your car. Even though some of them, I mean, let me grab one for you. Okay, so this is a dedicated car drying towel. This is a twist loop. This is the purple drying towel from MacShine. Tons of brands make a twist loop towel. I actually did a whole video on all the best drying towels. We looked at waffle weave, just the plush, as well as the twist loop. So if you want to check that out, I'll link that video down in the description for you guys. But with these, although they kind of look like just your kind of average beach towel or whatever else, I mean, they are not. So please make sure, do not use your beach towel. Do not use your regular bath towels. They will possibly scratch. They will for sure not hold nearly as much water. if you're not being careful, they'll drag across the bottom of the car or onto the ground, and then you're transferring that up onto the roof. You're gonna scratch your car. Don't do it, especially if it's your beach towel. Even if you wash it, there could still be grains of sand in there. Bad idea. It's like dragging sandpaper across your paint. Do not do it. Stick to a nice dedicated microfiber drying towel. Number 5, we are back to talking about the wash process kind of. We're talking about the wheels and tires. One thing that you want to make sure is before you apply your dressing, you want to make sure that you're degreasing the tire so that the dressing holds on there properly. It'll help make the tires look way better for sure. You're not stacking new dressing on top of old dressing on top of old dressing. So getting that nice clean finish before you dress it is essential. And like I said, along with the wash process side of things, when I go in and clean my wheels and tires right off the bat, the first thing I do is do that, and I'm degreasing my tires right away. Then I'll wash the rest of the car. Once everything's dry, I will go on and dress my tires. And that brings us to number 6, and that is do not apply dressing to your wet tires or anything like that. You want to make sure the tire is completely dry, otherwise you're going to leave streaks. If you're using, like me, using a water-based dressing, it's going to dull out the appearance of that dressing. It's going to be smeary, all that kind of stuff. So don't do that. Make sure your tires are completely dry before dressing them. So for number 7, we're still a little bit on the tire. We're actually going into do not overuse the product. Don't overdress your tires. You're just going to get a ton of fling. Once you drive off, it's going to fling up on the side of your car. Don't want that. Don't over apply wax. Wax goes on in a very, very, very thin layer. You can apply all you want and get it all thick on there, but then when you go to buff it off, you're only leaving that tiny bit. So there's no reason to put a ton of product on. You're just gonna make life harder for yourself in removing it. So don't overuse your product. Number 8 is when you're applying your products, whether it be working on the interior or exterior, applying dressing, whatever it is, do not create overspray. You can have typically when you're applying your dressings or wax, if it's a spray wax that you're using especially, or doing your windows, your car is all clean, right? These are the last steps that you're gonna be doing once your car is all clean. Well, say you have your product and you have your towel and say you're missing it from back here, you're gonna be creating a ton of overspray. If you're working outside and there's a little bit of wind, it's getting on the surface of your car, the paint. You're ruining the finish that you just made as nice as you could. So don't do that. Stay really close with your product, spray away from the wind or downwind of it or whatever, just so that the wind doesn't blow it back onto the car because you're just creating more work for yourself again. Again, for me, efficiency is key. I don't want to have to do something twice. If I got the paint looking perfect and then I go to apply dressing and I'm being careless over here and spraying a bunch of dressing and it goes onto the paint, well, now I have to go back and get that off. So just watch where you're spraying, stay out of the wind, and you'll be good to go. So for number 9, it's simply do not cross-contaminate your towels. I like to keep different color-coded towels, so certain color for my interior, certain color for my exterior, certain color for windows, etc. You don't want to use something that has some sort of harsh chemical when you're cleaning or degreaser and then put that on your paint. So just make sure to keep your towels separate so that you don't, again, you're not cross-contaminating and putting something that you don't want on your paint onto your paint. So number 10, final one here, guys, and that is don't skimp on your towels, especially on windows. Personally, when I go and do a window, I'll take one microfiber towel. Again, I only use water when I do windows, but I'll take one microfiber towel that is loaded up with water, and then I'll have 4 or 5 completely dry towels. I'll do the window, do a section, make sure it's all good, go to the next section. As soon as that dry towel starts to get a little bit saturated, I'm gonna be leaving streaks behind. So I'll toss that one to the side, move on to a completely dry one. Do not skimp on that. It'll just make your life harder. Just you go through your towels, you're gonna get the better result, it's gonna get done faster, and you're gonna be happier. All right, guys, so that's it, a list of 10 things that you don't wanna do when you're detailing or washing your car. But as a bonus, remember, do not overcomplicate it. Just have fun. We're in this to have fun. It's a good chance for us to kind of clear our minds, work on your car, just make it an enjoyable process. That's it, guys. I hope that helps. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you're subscribed, turn on that notification bell, and we will see you on the next one.